Welcome to the shop. Hope you're having a great day. Alright, today I'm going to show you how to grind a bevel just like this. Are you ready? Here we go. Welcome back. It's been a while since I've actually done a tutorial for beginners on how to do grinds and how to make your grinds look real nice and straight and all that and get them perfect. So this is going to be a pretty detailed video on how to do grinds, just basic flat grinds. I think next I'll do a compound grind, then maybe hollow grinds and all that, get back into the tutorial stuff, but I got a few videos lined up before that. Alright, enough talking, let's just get to it. So I was watching Green Beetle's video on grinding bevels, and I realized I haven't done an actual tutorial for any of my new subscribers around that. I mean, I got that whole playlist of making a whole knife for beginners, but it's been a while. It's already cut out and all that. We're just gonna concentrating on flat grinding. Now, if you watch that Green Beetle video, he talks about scribing down the middle. I use a height gauge. I don't use drill bits, but it's the same effect and all that. I got the height gauge, and then I use just regular beat up old calipers. It doesn't even have a battery in it. And, to mark the lines. And this is Dykem. All that stuff down in the Amazon link. If you're interested, if you're new, if you need to know what tools to get and stuff, that's all down in my affiliate links for Amazon. So first what we do, this is an old belt. You don't want to use a brand new belt to break the 90s, because if you do, you're just going to get a face full of grit and ruin your belt. And basically breaking the 90s means we're just going to take like a 45-degree angle or any kind of angle and get it right down to the line. And that's your starting off point. So once we get to the line, then we put on a new belt and we'll go from there. Alright, let's get a new belt. Now see, it doesn't have to be pretty. Look how bad, this is off, and it just needs to be on the line, because that's your reference point. This is pre-heat treat. Now with pre-heat treat, I leave my edge thick. Some people take it thinner, and some people grind after heat treat. They don't even put bevels in or anything. I just like to leave it thick, that way I don't have to worry as much about warping or any of that stuff when you're heat treating and say it comes out and you have to take a little bit more off this side than this side, it's going to move center. So this way you have room to work with. 4 years I've been making knives and I still do it this way. It's always good to leave yourself room for mistakes. Alright, let me get a new belt. Brand new 50. See, if we would have left those edges on there, when you lay into that corner, it would just cut all that grit off and you would have been wasting the belt. Use older belts if you have them. So basically now, I like to stay, away from where my ricasso is going to be. You probably, if you're just starting out, you're probably not going to do swooping plunges. I got plenty of videos on if you want to learn swooping plunges after you learn the basics. So you're probably just going to be coming straight up and straight over. Like that. Can we see that? Straight up and straight over. Straight up, straight over. That's what we're going for. We're going to stop about here. That way, after heat treat, you can worry about your ricasso and your plunge lines and all that. We're not worried about any of that. We're just practicing our grinds. Well, I still do this anyway, but right now, we're just setting in our grinds. We have this much room to work with and adjust our hands how we want them and figure it all out. Alright, so we're just going to press in here and we're going to pull it through. We're going to have our thumbs closer to the edge. Press in and go. And then you look to see how far you've come up. As you want to bring it down, you move your thumbs down and your pressure down. And you pull back just a little bit. You don't want to pull back because then you'll do a full flat. You're going to let your thumbs dictate where the line is. Here we go. See, I haven't pushed too far right there. We almost went up, but we're still under our line. So we gotta be careful with stuff like that. I did that on purpose. I'm just playing. So now, here, you can see we're barely coming up here. So we'll move this thumb down a little bit. And while you're first learning, before heat treat and all that, just go ahead and pull it straight. You don't have to pull it out or pull it down or any of that stuff. Just pull it straight through. Get your, get your bearings. Get the feel of the knife. See how you want to do it. As you get comfortable with it pulling it through, maybe pull it out a little bit. See what works. Because each way you move the knife, it's going to affect how it comes up. Woo! Look at that, I just went crazy there. See, so even I make mistakes. All the time. That's what I was talking about. I'm sitting here trying to bring it up, but I put too much pressure on it. We're right on that line. The thing is, after heat treat, you're gonna have to surface grind and all that. So now we got it above where we want it. Of course, everything that can go wrong will go wrong, huh? So now we want to bring it down and see this? That lip right there. Let me see something. See the lip right here? That defines our line, so we're going to make that smaller, right? And once that little facet is gone, we're to our line, and we move to the other side. You can tell I'm used to swooping it. Right here it's coming down. Let's see, we got that all straightened out now. We still got a little bit. Here we're good. So we don't want to put pressure this way here. Just right in here. I'm sitting there, I'm gonna work this out. And then that's what we're gonna make the other side to make it look like that's what we meant to do. In fact, here, I'll show you. That's our new line. Oh man. I should just blame my bad arm, right? And that's what you want to do when you bring it down. If you want to hide it, you just flat grind it. These are on Amazon too. See, look how superficial that was. We just brought it down that far. Let me go dikem this up and remark it. But don't rely on that. It's just something, and don't sit there. If you're going to do that to fix it, don't sit there and push up here. You know, just take it off. Because usually when you go over like that, it's superficial. It's not that deep. And you're going to have to surface grind and stuff after heat treat. Just don't sit there and press into it, because then you're going to make it go like that. You know, the steel's going to be thinner here. That's one way to get it out, to bring it down if you just slip and go over. Because usually it's just a mark. It's not really that deep, as you can see there. Like I showed you. Here was our mark before, and now we're, you know, a good 1/8 inch under. So I'm gonna go mark both of them. This will be our height. Then we'll start on this side. So now we're gonna mark it again, and I'll show you. So there's where we want it to be. No bigger. Maybe that mistake was a blessing, because I'll show you what to do. Because honestly, most of knife making is about knowing how to fix your mistakes. Because that's one thing, no matter how good you get, you are going to mess up. But knowing how to fix it is just as important as knowing how to grind it. Let me get that all to the line and not worry about this. You can tell I'm so used to doing swooping plunges, it's messing me up. And I'm concentrating too much of it, and I'm slaking myself out. Anyway, let's get back to it. And once you get a little bit better, that's something you can do. You know, I've talked about that in a lot of my other grinding videos. Lift the blade up. See how I started going over just a little bit right there? So I don't want to hit there anymore. So I lifted this up and pushed down there, and it pulled it straight up. Time to move on to the other side before I ruin this. Let's see, this hand, 1 grind, this grind 100. I wonder what the problem is. So you have no excuse. Oh man. Even that came up nice and straight. Oh man. So now we just put a 120 on and refine it. My other grinders become a belt hanger. And then when I need to use this grinder, this becomes the belt hanger. Yeah, we're just gonna do the same thing, but refine it. And see that little part there? That's a facet. That's the low point. So everything's got to come down to that. I don't know if it's going to show up. But right there, it's like, you know, whenever you see a dip, that's the low point. When I first started, I thought the low point meant, you know, that had to come out. But it's the other way around. Everything else has to come down to that. So when you see and that's one of the good reasons to break your 90s and all that. So, you know, when you see a facet, you know that's a low spot and everything's still got to come down to it. And just like that, it all works out. Now, well, once I drill the holes, it's ready for heat treat. So this is out of heat treat, all tempered and all that. I got it straight. I didn't surface grind it because it's pretty flat and stuff and good. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do the bevels. I already got it marked. It's 2 lines, they're not touching. Here, let me see something. I don't know if we can see those lines. But they're real close, but they're not touching. You know, a lot of people do 1 line. I like to do 2 lines, and then after heat treat, you know, I'm gonna start with the 36, bring it to the line, and I'm gonna still stay here. Then we'll go to a 120 and bring the lines like touching. Almost looks like 1 line, and then we'll put in our plunge lines. Alright, we're gonna do the same thing. Now, I didn't put on a Warren belt and I just got a whole face full of grit because I was so busy setting up cameras and all that. So you still do, we don't really have 90s, but you want to bring it down to the line because that's your reference point. Yeah, now we'll just grind up to here, then at 120 we'll bring it back. Just make sure you dip your blade. That's why I don't wear gloves. You know, if you want to wear gloves before heat treat to be comfortable, whatever, that's one thing, but after heat treat, you gotta make sure you have some kind of water, something to cool it off. My bucket's right here. I dip it in water. I forgot to mark these, let me go mark that so I don't go crazy. Now you don't have to go to your line with 36. You just want it as a reference to make sure both sides are even, and then 120 will be on there. If you go over the line, you just make it a little bit higher if you have to. Alright, we're at same spot here and here, but you can see on this side, it moved a little bit. That's what I was talking about, doing one side more than the other or whatever. Or maybe it was warped when you first marked it, and then you take it out of heat treat and you straighten it out. It moves the line just a little bit. Now we just have to push up and bring it down to our line. Then we go to 120. Well, then we remark it and go to 120. Like I say, pay attention to my thumbs. It's all about where your thumb work is and how you're putting pressure on. That's all grinding is. You know, you put it up here, you push it in, you pull it here, you pull it back a little bit, and you pull back all the way, you're gonna go full. It's just training your hands to know how the pressure goes. And you still mess up here and there, even after years of practice. There we go. And that's 36 grit, so going to 120, and then we'll start bringing our plunge lines in. Alright, I'll make them straight. It's been a long time, but I'll make them straight. I'll be back. Let me go mark this. It looks like one line, but it's two. It's just easier this way for me to do it. Try it with one line, it might be easier. So now, it's been a long time since I've done a straight belt. Oh, I gotta mark these lines. I would suggest, even if you're not trying to do swooping plunges, hang the belt over just a teeny bit. So we'll have a little bit of curve in there. Even if it comes straight up, you know, it won't be like square, you know, straight and straight, unless that's what you want. I would still suggest you're gonna have a lip, like see that lip? Kind of tap it in where you want it to land here. See how I tapped that? See how it's still going straight up? But you got that lip, so tap that lip and you'll see me just tapping it here and pulling it in. That's just to break that little, because if you try to do it like that, you might mess up when you're grinding. But, you know, try it both ways. Man, my hand wants to do swooping plunges. For this, for the plunge line, it looks like I'm grinding the whole thing, but really I got my knuckle, because the belt's hanging over a little bit here. I got my knuckle here. I'm holding the blade up like that, and I'm just punching in right here. See, I'm going by this, and I'm bringing it over, and I'm punching straight through. I'm bringing it straight up. My foot, you know, this part of the blade, none of this is hitting. Look, you can see where it's hitting. This is basically finished. Now we're just gonna, this is basically where we want it. The rest is finishing. A65, I'm gonna go A65, A30, and see where we're at, and then we'll talk about it from there. Now the one thing you gotta be careful of is right in here, these soft belts, cork belts, all that are really good for smoothing this line out and smoothing this plunge line out. Like right here, see how it's like a little brittle? These softer belts will smooth that out and work that all out, hopefully. Like I said, it's been a while since I've done a straight plunge. My hand wants to make it curved. See that little bit, just straighten that right out. It had that big old curve in it. Now it's just fine, that dip is gone and all that. Now we're just gonna refine all the rest. Oh yeah, and I found the best way is to start one side and pull. You know, if you want to start here and push, that's best. But going back and forth messes up the grind lines. See how straight those grind lines are? That messed me up because the Dykem wiped off and I thought I crossed the line up there. Oh, I guess I have to leave that in. See how even and straight that is without my messy fingers messing it up? Nice and even with messed up Dykem. Alright, let's get to the other side. Yeah, this way sometimes I like to push it. You just gotta remember, if you pull out like that and you push in, you gotta start like that. You know, whatever motion you use that, but we're just refining. And you'll see me doing this a lot, you know, to make sure this matches up with this. It looks like this one's just a teeny bit lower. So you always, you know, I always use my thumb as a gauge there. And then I look for that. See how we straighten that one out? Put on whatever magnet you use to hold it flat. I got the links for this on Amazon down below. Let's see if this will clean it up. If not, we'll have to go back down to like maybe 120. We'll see. So we're just gonna do that. I'll meet you back at the bench. I'm gonna go down to 120 and then come up to 830. By the way, it's the same theory. You just wanna hold the knife on there. You don't wanna push in. Just hold it on there and let the thing do the work. I got a little bit more stuff to do back here. All right, and then you might have to go back and do the bevel. See how I came over here? So I'm about to go and touch it up. But that's all the same process over and over. Alright, I'll meet you back at the bench. Got her all cleaned up and looking good. There's a few spots back here I might have to touch up on the surface grinder and then do the bevels, but we got the basic gist of it if it can stay out of the light. Woo! Yeah. Those grinds came out real nice. And it came out pretty straight. I'm trying not to do the swooping plunges on that, but man, I think I just trained myself to do swooping plunges so much. Can't help it. But yeah, it just takes the time and takes the effort and whew. And then you gotta keep your dirty fingers off it or it gets all smudged up. Alright, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff. Leave comments if you're just starting out or how far you are in the progress, or hey, maybe you've been in it longer than me and your bevels look a lot better. You know, if you got tips, let us know. I can learn something too. We're all in this for the community. Alright, my website's up in the cards in the first link down below. Instagram's on there and all that. I got shirts. Oops, I'm not wearing my shirt. Anyway, I got shirts on there. You've probably seen them in other videos. If you're new here, go watch some other videos. I got plenty of shirts in the other ones. I'm always pushing my stuff. Amazon links to all the tools you see me using here are on there, down in the description and on the website. Alright, I'm starting to ramble. Thanks for watching. Hope you're having a great day. And as always, take it easy.